Hello, Aquarius. This is your reading for the month of June 2021. As you can see, I still have the double deck thing going. I did this for the weekly reading last time, but I'm kind of obsessed, I have to admit. I love the double deck thing. I love the opportunity for cards to come up twice, and I find it really interesting even when they don't. So here I am doing it again, even though it is a bit of a hassle to shuffle with all these cards. Where I live today, it is miserable. It is raining like crazy, so I've got my window closed so it won't be noisy, which I hate. But it is a must because it's that loud. Now, I'm also going to do an extended reading that you can click on if you want to see more when this reading is done. It's going to be with the Druid Craft Tarot deck, which I also have two of, so it'll be another double-decker situation. But I just started reading the book the other day, and it's not just reading the cards the regular way. There's a lot of expansion on those meanings, a lot of extra stuff. It's really, really quite interesting. I have not used them in the past, some of those meanings, so I will just read you straight out of the book when I do the reading, and then you can tell me if some of those very, very specific things turn out to be accurate, and if you like it, if you don't like it, if you want that spread, if you want different spreads, if you want different cards, whatever you want, I'm going to try to make it happen for you. So I just want to make that clear. I'm going to pull 12 cards, and that's going to be the basic reading. See, even because the two different decks of cards are a bit of a different texture, they keep going together no matter what. So far, look, these have been all the one deck of cards, and I cannot tell you how long I shuffled off camera. So yeah, so this is all one deck of cards. The other deck didn't get combined, even though at one point it was. Okay. This freaking thing keeps coming up for everybody. I want to rip the... I'm almost tempted to just rip up the cards I don't like. But okay, I know I can't do that. So let's get into this. I haven't seen the moon in a while. That's kind of fun. This guy keeps coming up for almost everybody, and this damn thing I can't get rid of, and this one. I think this card has come up for everybody. Okay, let's unpack our little scenario here. So let's start with the cards that can be real people. So, the Page of Swords. He's a child, a teenager, or a young adult. Can be a different age, but that is what is general. I mean, if you're 75 and you're, jumping all over the place, youthful as hell, then you might be the Page of Swords. But typically, it's a young person. He is an air sign, a Gemini, Aquarius, or a Libra. So, Aquarius, this might be you. Or the King of Swords might be you. If you're a little bit older and more advanced in life, this might be you. With a bit more experience and that kind of thing. So, the general energy of these cards is practicality, the intellect, constant learning. This young person is quite a scholar. He's just sucking in input like no other. This person is also an intellectual type. He's gained quite a bit of knowledge, which has helped him to run a good kingdom. The Page of Swords can be a messenger, can be bringing you some knowledge about something intellectual or something that's a truth that you need to know. Because you're an air sign, one of these two characters could be you. So, and male and female are somewhat malleable in the cards. This is not a new concept. This is not something I'm saying because it's politically correct to say male and female or whatever. Not at all. In the cards, it has always been male energy, female energy, and if you're one who has lots of the other or can really, have empathy toward the other sex, kind of, and take on some of those characteristics, then perhaps it is you. For example, if you are sort of the person who, say you're in a corporation, and you're at the very top of that corporation, the kingdom, so to speak, and you're the person in the power position and all of that jazz, you might be, as a female, you could be the King of Swords, and there might be somebody else who's like the Queen of Swords, who is your underling, who is male. Now, that is not the typical scenario. Usually the characters being male and female tend to reflect more of what is actually pictured. But it is not always like that. There is some interchange. So just going to make that clear for you. The Page of Swords. Now, the pages have always been sort of either or, like completely either or, because it has a lot less to do with what you've accomplished in life. It's more about being a kid, you know. So a page can certainly be male or female, even more so than the, king and queen. So I'm just going to guess that one of these is you. So depending on your age, you can decide who you are, unless say you're a female who is very, very young and very unaccomplished and not really sort of having enough experience to feel like you'd be in that kind of kingly position. But in that case, you could be this person, So I'm just going to guess that whoever you are, you're probably one of these two. Okay, I could be wrong. There are exceptions to everything, but let's just assume that that's the case. Now, the other person, if the other person is also, say you're this person, if one of your parents is an air sign, or, say you're at college and one of your professors that you're very close to and influences you a lot is an air sign. Something like that could be the case. So here we've got Temperance. Temperance is about telling you to walk the middle line. Don't drink too much. Don't smoke too much. Don't shop too much. Don't do anything too much. Try to be reasonable. Be reasonable. Be moderate. Don't go too overboard. Don't be too extreme. That's what temperance is. Because I'm an extreme person, I get this all the time. I like to do everything too much. So temperance marches in. It's all about purification. It's all about, sanctity and being good and purifying yourself and not overindulging on everything. Then we've got, let's see, did I miss any people? No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. The Page of Wands. We do have another person who you might know. So the Page of Wands is a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And this person is, being also a page, is a young person typically. So he or she is learning all about how to put things into action. You've got all these brilliant ideas, but you're quite young, so you're learning to do these things. They're very active, very physical people, very good at building things, very good at socializing. Wands are your party animals often. They're very fiery. They love to talk and to drink wine and to talk all night. I realize this is a very young person, but these people, when they're kids, they want to do everything. They want to know everything. They want to run around and you won't. Now people are wearing knee pads, but if there were no knee pads, the Page of Wands' knees would be scraped. His head would be scraped. He'd be bruised from here to eternity because he's running around, jumping off of this, jumping off of that, building this, doing that. Nothing's going to stop the old Page of Wands. He is Mr. Physical, Miss Physical, happening. So this card is great, super positive. So I'm going to kind of save, the Moon isn't the best card, but it's not terrible. I'm going to save some of this for after. Let's dive into these two cards because they're not so hot. So the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is quite interesting because it has some negative connotations and negative possibilities, but it also is a card of great hope. This card often comes when there's some kind of a financial loss. Okay, some kind of a reduction in income. I am seeing a lot of that right now with people whose jobs have been reduced, the hours, or they're working from home and so they can't be in the office as much and they're not getting as much money. There is a lot of this. People in service industries, people in the restaurant industry, their income has been greatly diminished. They're not getting the tips, blah, blah, blah. Everything's takeout. A lot of businesses are suffering. A lot of people have lost a lot of money. A lot of small businesses are over, So this is a really bad card in the sense that there's a lot of money loss going on. Be thankful if it's only a bit and not a total washout. It can also mean health is diminishing, which is always a problem. You have to work on that. You have to always keep working on that ever, ever, and always. But this also can mean that even when you're out in the cold or feeling bereft and out in the cold, you've got an ally. Somebody is with you. There will be somebody who stands by your side. It also can mean that there's sanctuary. There's something here that looks like you could come in from the cold, maybe a church. So some people look at this card as a reminder that you have your spirituality. You have something outside yourself that you can turn to. There's always something helping you along the way. This card a lot of people read as a card of sleepless nights. I would call it a card of great worries, torment, sometimes baggage. You know, the swords are thoughts. They're not something tangible, okay? They're thoughts. You guys are air signs, so sometimes your thoughts can get rather biting. And somehow this has to be managed. If there's something that's happened recently that's causing you to grieve and be miserable, fine, understandable. But you don't want to go through years and years of grieving. If this is about baggage, something you can deal with, there's always a way to get past these things. Remember, you have the power. You are the one in control. I know it doesn't always feel that way, but ultimately that is what is real. You have the power. You are in the driver's seat. So I see that there's some... You feel like you've been wounded. You're a little defensive. I don't know if this happened at work or in life. I mean, both of them are active situations that you're moving through, but you're a little defensive. Somebody's done you wrong, or you've had obstacles to be surmounted that were very difficult, that maybe aren't over yet, that you're trying to jump over those hurdles. As you can see here, you've got either too much work, you're overburdened, you know, you feel like it's just too much, you can't do it all yourself, you don't have proper backup, you're trying to, you know, either take on less, or you need to take on less, or you need to find a way to do this more efficiently, or you need to have more time to do it, or you need to feel better about how to do it. You're struggling, but you are in action. You aren't stopping because you're struggling. You are going to make this happen. You are working hard. So give yourself credit. Stop beating yourself up, for God's sake. Okay, do not do that. Then you've got strength, which some people never get this card, and I'm not kidding you. Certain people get it, certain people never get it. And it is a phenomenal card. I mean, this card means that you can overcome all of this, like no problem. You really, really, really can. Now, if you are getting these cards and you are not the person pictured, there is still a reason that these cards are appearing. Excuse me. The Page of Wands might be appearing because you're working very hard to put something into action and you need help with that. So he's here to say, I am here to help you mentally with this situation. You have the capacity to do this, and I am here for you. The same with these guys. Theirs is all about cutting through the garbage to get to the truth, or to be able to learn whatever you need to know in the situation. But strength is imperative. I mean, in life, we all will have to face things, and some people won't be strong against it or to withstand it, but you will be. So remember that. Then we've got this wonderful card, another wand. You're reviewing your past. You're looking to the future. You're trying to figure out what your next step is. This is a good thing. This is a very, very good thing. You've got all this stuff in action. You've got all this stuff on the go. And it requires constant evaluation because you need to figure out what to do next. Now you've got this wand here, don't forget. So you've got 4 wands here working at the things you want to act out, the things that you want to put into action. Your projects, your activities, your work. This is strong, okay? This is strong. The moon is an unusual and mysterious card. The moon will appear when you are having nightmares, when you are tormented, when you are confused about something, when you're trying to figure something out to make your life work better. The moon will appear to tell you that, you know, you need to figure this confusion out. You need to work this out because you don't want this to hold you back. Sometimes it's just something about the unconscious, something in your, pardon me, did I say unconscious? I meant subconscious. Something in your subconscious is trying to come out, to assert itself, to make itself known. Something, again, that may be a truth or clarity that you need to know, that you literally have within you. So go within and try to figure out what is going on and what you can do to make things better, because you can. And then you've got the Ace of Cups, which is the beginning of something that's passionate to you. It could be a love that's starting up. It could be a person that you're interested in, that, you know, something, a beautiful friendship or something passionate is going to happen between you. It could be a passion project. You've got a project you want to enact, and it's something you love and you've been wanting to do it maybe your whole life and you haven't been able to do it yet, but now you've got this Ace of Cups. And I'm going to say go for it, because this is a pretty positive reading. Yes, you've got this pain and, you know, potential income loss and what have you. Not great, but generally speaking, this reading is pretty good, and I feel like you're going to have some really good things happen. So I wish you the best, and if you want to click on that other thing to check it out, do. And I hope to see you soon. Take care.